So I really don't like preppers. And that seems counterintuitive because I have a preparedness-based YouTube channel. But hang out with me for just a second. Let's discuss that. And I'd imagine that you'll probably agree with me. By the way, I'm Matt with BAAM Ranch, and thanks for watching. Quick pause for capitalism. The item of the day today is these Walker Razor Ear Pro. I've got a link in the description as well as the comments below, but more on that later. So, preppers. Whenever I hear the word prepper, what I immediately think of is one of two things. One, I think of some dude that's just running out, wasting money, buying a whole bunch of crap that they don't need and putting it on a shelf and calling it good. Like, they don't mess with it, they don't learn to use it. They just buy whatever showed up in the ad on the YouTube video or whatever it was, and they spent their money. I think of that. Or number two, I get the guy that just lives in fear. He's always living in fear about the next thing that's coming, and something's gonna get you, and civil war or civil unrest, or all these fear-mongering Canadian prepper type things that really, for the most part, are just a waste of time. So let's break some of that down just a little bit. This channel, I had somebody tell me that I needed to come up with a tagline for this YouTube channel. And the best I could come up with was helping to build better lives that we love living through preparedness-based homesteading. And I think that right there kind of sums up what we're trying to do here, or what my goal is for myself, and if I can help somebody along the way, just the same. But basically, we're prepping so that whenever everyone else's normal stops, we can continue our normal. So we're prepping to live, but we're not doing so out of fear. There's nothing really that we're afraid of. We're not fearful of something happen, but we understand that things do happen, and we have the situational awareness to recognize whenever there might be something like that coming along, and we're not worried about it because we've thought through it and we've set back the plans and the supplies needed to be able to take care of that. But most importantly, we're prepping to live, but we're not living to prep. That's something that we need to avoid doing, and it just seems like every time you turn on YouTube, it's this doomer porn, clickbait explosions, and warheads on foreheads, and the government's going to come and rape your dog and all this other crap. And we need to get away from that. It's a waste of time. Now, with all that being said, yes, there is a component of gear involved with this. There's going to be some things that we need to buy. We need to buy firearms. We need to buy the stuff that we need if we need to bug out, for our voluntary refugee kit or something like that. So that there is a component of purchasing things involved with that. And that's okay, just as long as your preparedness doesn't just justify a gear buying addiction or hobby of some kind. So I encourage you to, go and refocus all of that fear-based, action in your life. And if that's what it takes to get you motivated, great. But, since you're already here, let's kind of readjust a little bit and start looking at what we do as far as preparedness to start living in a preparedness mindset, the preparedness lifestyle, rather than just this, Canadian prepper style, doomsday crap that everybody gets caught up in. In the process of preparedness, what we're doing is we're setting back what we need now for whenever it might not be available. And that goes with everything, food and guns and ammo, even down to our personal finances. We got to have that stuff set back. We want to start growing our own food or raising some of our own small livestock, because for some reason, the grocery store may not be available. And it doesn't mean that it's some catastrophic thing that knocks out the grocery stores. It could be a hurricane or a tornado that comes through town. Or maybe it's just a snowstorm and you can't make it out of your house. You just want to save a trip to the grocery store. And what if that snowstorm happens, around the holidays, whenever you've got family visiting and you've got, 12 additional people in your house that just randomly got stuck there, and they're going to be stuck there with you for 4 days while the snow clears out. Well, general preparedness covers that. And with preparedness, while we're reducing our dependence on outside influence, whether that be, government or, whatever you want, in the process of doing that, we're also increasing our level of personal liberty and freedom along with that, just as a byproduct of doing so. If you don't believe that, well, I challenge you to try and exert control on a man who needs nothing from you. People that sit here and talk all this crap about, how their freedoms and all of this, they don't truly realize just how controlled their lives are. If you want a perfect example, the guy who lives paycheck to paycheck and spends all of his money on cool prepping gear has to ask permission to go to the bathroom 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week or so. Well, that's quite a bit of control. And whenever that guy's boss is an asshole, he doesn't have the ability to just tell him to go screw. You take the guy who's got 6 months worth of food set back, 6 months worth of income, there ain't nothing some boss is going to tell him it's nothing for you to tell your boss to go screw off at that point. You know what? I'm out of here. Not only that, but on the way home, I'm going to load up the fishing gear and I'm going to take a week-long fishing trip. And you know what? I think I'm going to take my wife and kids on a cruise. And then whenever I come back, I'll start looking for other work. And it goes further than that. Even though you have the ability to tell your boss to go screw and find another job, having your own sources of income, that gives you one more level of freedom. Having backyard livestock such as chickens or quail or goats or something like that, that gives you one more level of independence from, the whole logistics of the grocery store system, and buys you freedom from all of that. If you don't like the hormones and the steroids and the antibiotics that they're putting in your food, well, you can start growing some of that yourself. If you're tired of paying tax on freaking everything, how many times is just a bell pepper taxed before it gets to your hand? It's taxed by the grower, the income tax for all the people involved with that. It's taxed from the people that sold the farmer that equipment. It's taxed by the Department of Transportation whenever it's loaded on a truck. It's taxed with all the diesel. It's taxed whenever it gets to a warehouse, then goes from the warehouse, and it's taxed again at the grocery store. That bell pepper has been taxed dozens of times before it even makes it to you, before you pay your sales tax on it. So growing your own bell pepper eliminates all of that, gives you a little bit of freedom. It allows you to take 100% of the benefit and keep it for yourself. Same thing goes with firewood, heating your house with wood. That's a preparedness lifestyle type of thing. There's no tax that's paid on the firewood that you cut and split and stacked yourself. So this preparedness lifestyle is something that we need to start looking more at. Like I said, this channel is about helping to build lives we love living through preparedness-based homesteading. It's the never-ending, reach to become healthier, wealthier, smarter, stronger, and better. And focus on that kind of stuff. And there's no possible scenario where that's going to come out bad for you. And almost every possible scenario where it's going to have something to benefit you. Well, anyway, until next time, y'all be safe. Let's go ahead and talk about the item of the day. So these Walker Razor Ear Pro, these are electronic, what do they call it, active Ear Pro. So you can throw them on while you're shooting or whatever. Not just for shooting, but I wear these whenever I'm running the weed eater or whatever else. You know, you sit here and have a perfectly good conversation. There's a cricket over here chirping. I can hear it just fine, yet I'm still protecting my hearing. And for somebody who already has had some hearing damage in the past, it really sucks. You know, I was in my young 30s whenever I started noticing some hearing damage. So picking up a good set of Ear Pro, turned those off, it sounded kind of funny. Picking up a good set of Ear Pro, and particularly some of the electronic Ear Pro, such as these. I don't care. You buy these. Peltor makes some good ones. I'll put an Amazon link below in the comments as well as the description. And I'll make a couple dollars, or a couple cents rather, if you click my link to order you a set of Ear Pro and protect your hearing. You know, running the weed eater, a chainsaw, even just a lawnmower, I throw them on. It doesn't cost you a single dime extra, and that's just profit that would go back to Amazon, and it's a way that you can support me. If you don't want to support me, fine, use some other YouTuber's link, but if possible, if you're shopping for something on Amazon, click a link of somebody you follow and allow them to make a couple dollars off of you. Like I said, it doesn't cost you a dime extra, and you don't even have to buy the item that's listed in the link. Just as long as you click that person's link, they'll get credit for it. All right, well, until next time, you guys be safe.